Hello, hello. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea.
And guys, when the Jets are snake bitten, ESPN does something stupid with their football coverage, and the Cowboys just do something stupid in general, it only means one thing. We're back,
That
baby.
it's football eve.
We are back. Get the
We're so back, bro.
the football Eve tree is filled with presents and gifts and all the lights.
And injuries if you're a
Eh,
Jets fan. And
Yes.
pain if you're a Cowboys fan. Really, the opportunities are endless.
Oh man. That the whole NFC prediction thing really is going to bite me in the butt. Cause I had the Packers missing the playoffs and the Cowboys winning and making wild card.
Yeah, I think I might be the one coming out on the correct side of that,
I
unfortunately.
I need the AFC to do me a big solid because something crazy happened.
To be fair, I picked against the Cowboys even with Parsons, so I feel like I'm really right now.
You know what? It's fine. Dak is about to have the greatest season for any quarterback and go 8-9.
That would be very Cowboys of him.
Oh man. So if you are living under a rock or if you just are living under a rock, the Cowboys traded their best player, arguably one of the best defensive players the past 4 years, Micah Parsons, for two first-round picks and a pretty solid defensive tackle in Kenny Clark. I'm gonna give him credit; he's pretty solid, but he is not Micah Parsons. Now, the Cowboys, I've said before in the past, the Cowboys they tend to do this song and dance with their free agents, and they sign them at the last second. That wasn't his case this time, so I guess Chelsea's comments that Jerry Jones is an idiot is kind of playing out.
Yeah, so we were partially right when the whole contract dispute was going on with Trey Hendrickson, and then this was going on, where we're like, if they're smart, they'll both sign them. And somehow the Bengals found money to sign Hendrickson. I
Somehow.
still don't understand where they found it, but they found it. So more
Yeah.
power to them. Now they have one good player on defense. Good for them. The Cowboys, on the other hand, just really mess this up. I mean, really, it just comes down to Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones and just wanting to be, you know, the king of Dallas and wanting his way or the highway, basically, is what it comes down to. Um, yeah, this was really not a great move for them. Their defense already isn't that good. They have like two or three players that are pretty good, and outside of that, I mean, it's just not it, to be honest with you. It was shocking and wasn't shocking at the same time. It was kind of shocking to see him traded in the same conference, which I thought was interesting. You would have thought they would have shipped him to the AFC where they couldn't be hurt as badly. They did get him out of their division, but I was a little surprised he stayed in the conference. But, you got to give up something to get something, I guess. And I guess they liked the offer the best. There was a report that came out, what's today? To recording this on Wednesday. So I think it was yesterday on Tuesday, that Parsons, like his number one option was staying with the Cowboys. Like if the Cowboys had like extended him an offer that he liked, he would have stayed. Which just has to make this so much worse, right? If you're a Cowboys fan, hearing Micah Parsons' agent say that Micah Parsons said that, like that just has to just make it worse, right?
It well, I don't think no, what? I don't think anything really can make it worse for a Cowboys fan at this point, even if you say you wanted to leave. I'm just like to be devil's advocate, all of seven people who actually like to trade for Dallas part. This could be playing back to 1988, 89, where they trade their one great player, Herschel Walker, to the Vikings for a bunch of picks, and then they build a dynasty in the early 90s. A big problem with that is it was a astronomical amount of picks they got. They got over I think they got between like 10 to 13 different picks throughout first,
Wow.
second, third. Like
That was before my time,
it
so
was a
that's
it was
pretty
a crazy
crazy to
trade.
hear.
It was an insane trade. Like Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, they fleeced Minnesota for Herschel Walker and built a dynasty with it. They got two draft picks. They're probably their first rounders, but they're gonna be late round first
They're
round
gonna be
picks.
late because the Packers are either gonna make the playoffs or they're just gonna miss. They're probably going to have at least 8 or 9 wins regardless.
I will say this though. I will say this. Everyone's now jumping on. Okay, that was his not well. Hopefully, for my prediction, they still make the wild card somehow. But chances are they're. Thank you for this support. Chances are they're done. They're,
I dare say they are cooked.
but now everyone's jumping on board like Green Bay, this super, and like because they were
I'm
drawing,
not on that boat. I haven't gotten there.
but they are drawing comparisons to in the early '90s when Reggie White was a free agent and went to Green Bay and they won the Super Bowl. Charles Woodson, he was from Oakland, went to Green Bay, they won the Super Bowl. Now they're saying, oh, see, Michael Parsons goes to Green Bay, they go win the Super Bowl. They failed to mention one very important thing.
What's that?
Brett Favre was an MVP. That was Brett Favre at his prime in the mid 90s. Aaron Rodgers was a superstar and literally had one of the greatest quarterback seasons of all time the next year and won his first of four MVPs.
That's fair. Fair
I
point.
don't, maybe this is just me. I'm not sure how you feel about this. I don't think Jordan Love is like a top five quarterback in the NFC at the moment.
No, I
Like,
agree.
like I'll put Hood in front of him. I'll put Jalen Daniels in front of him. I'll put Bacon in front of him. If healthy, I'm putting Stafford in front of him, and I'm probably honestly putting Golf in front of him. He's like Love is more into that like second tier, Dak Purdy kind of tier, but I don't think
I
he's
mean, you have Purdy too in the NFC. I would put Purdy in above Stafford and above Goff as well.
oh you're more high and important than I am, but you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think
Yeah.
Love is really the guy that's really carrying them to the Super Bowl. The Eagles undressed him last year, honestly,
I think
and
he's probably borderline top 10 right now. I don't think he's bad by any means. I
no,
mean,
he's
I
not
think
bad.
he's, you know, in the top half of quarterbacks in the league that start. But I don't think he's exactly been everything the Packers thought he was going to be up until this point. Like, he's been good.
Yeah,
He hasn't been exceptional. And I think that they really thought he was going to be exceptional because he sat behind Rodgers. There was all that drama that happened, and then he finally got the job. But no, it's very interesting. As some of you know, I like to listen to WFAN, which is Odyssey's sports station in New York City. And, you know, that's Giants and Jets Central. And some of the hosts today were speculating about Micah Parsons' so-called back injury. Now, the Cowboys had been working through this with him. He was on an extensive PT regimen. He was getting injections, stuff like that. I think it has to do with like a C3 and a C4 vertebrae, like some kind of sprain or something. It's like some kind of back sprain. And they were like, well, maybe this is Jerry Jones fleecing all of us because maybe if this is like a spinal injury or it turns into something like that, Parsons is never going to play again or he's going to be significantly worse. And I agree with that. If it turns into that, I mean, bro is cooked. You can't play football with a spine injury. I mean, we saw, you know, I mean, you
Shazier.
know all about spinal injuries. I mean, you know how it wrecks someone, especially in a really hard contact sport.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing that I would dispute with that is that, yes, he's injured. Yes, he was getting treatment. He did practice right when he got traded to the Packers. Either he was just being really tough or it's something you can play through because, you know, a lot of just sports fans in general don't really realize that their favorite athletes play through injuries all year, most of them.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of them are not significant. Like you obviously can't play through an Achilles or an ACL or something like that, or a UCL if you're a pitcher. You know, you can't play through those, but like knee sprains, ankle sprain, like stuff like that, these athletes are playing through year round.
Like
Now,
inflammation, all that stuff.
yeah.
Like they get
Like I know a back injury is kind of its own scary echelon over here in the corner, especially when it comes to spine. But I think if the Packers were really that worried about it turning into a more serious injury, do we really think that they would make him the highest paid quarterback of all time or non-quarterback of all time? Like if they really thought this was gonna degrade into some kind of like really bad injury, do we really think they would have paid this? Like Brian Gunthoust, I believe, is their GM. And while, you know, he's had his share of criticisms for not taking a receiver and taking Jordan Love when they had Rodgers, et cetera, he's made some good moves. I mean, I don't think he would dole out this kind of money if he thought Micah Parsons was like critically injured,
No, that's fair. Like I think
which he
they,
got 4 years, $188 million, by the way.
I could use a fraction. Well, I got my Powerball ticket, so
I could use like a 20th of that if he's feeling nice.
so, but
Send you
they
my Venmo handle.
I know they shot. I think he's taking shots to try to I don't know
Yes,
do
they were
something.
talking on the radio today about apparently he was getting epidurals. I don't know if that's actually what he was getting, but if that is, it's very interesting because that's what women get when they get C-sections or when they're in pregnancy. So that is
Oh, he's
interesting.
feeling pain. He's feeling some serious pain right now.
If he's getting epidurals, brother is in pain because you do not get an epidural, at least that's well known outside of being pregnant and giving birth. That is like hardcore drugs. Like you can't feel your legs, you can't feel anything.
The life of a footballer. Well, they definitely gonna want him to play this week
Oh
because
no, for sure.
they are facing the Lions, and to me, and the Lions are right now defending division champions, and that's one of the many games of the week that we have. I think I really like the
It's
lineup.
gonna be a good game.
They should know how to start off season because they have a bunch of really good games, and of course you
Finally, a week one that doesn't suck. I feel like the past 5 years, they've all been awful. The Thursday night games have been like the Browns versus like, I don't even know, like the Titans. Like, I don't want to watch this.
well this Thursday night is the Eagles Dallas, so
I, it, a lot of people are picking that game to be a shootout. It would not shock me if the Cowboys got blown out. I
no.
would rather see a shootout, like 34-31, something like that. I would rather see that. And I don't think Dak and CD are going to, lay down and die or anything. But it would not shock me if it was like 35-10. I'm not even going to lie.
Maybe we're going to see if Schottenheimer is an offensive genius or if he's Freddie Kitchens. Um,
Oh,
I
well,
love
oh
using
dear.
Freddie Kitchens as like my standard of just bad coach.
Poor Freddie Kitchens. Justice for Freddie Kitchens.
I think he's actually at Chapel Hill now.
He is. That might explain why they started out so poorly.
Well, besides obviously from you Pittsburgh for you the Colts, what's some games like one or two games that you're just going to have your eyes glued on with on now the commercial not so free red zone?
Well, I split Sunday ticket with my cousin because we're both Colts fans. So I'm able to watch the games that aren't broadcast in our area, which is nice. Um, Cowboys Eagles, gonna watch that obviously. First game of the season, only game on Thursday. I think the Friday game is interesting. Chiefs at Chargers. I'm interested to see how the Chiefs offense looks with the loss of Slater, which was a really big loss for them. Again, he went down again, which is just unfortunate. I'm excited to watch Panthers and Jags. I'm excited to see Bryce and Tet, and their defense has like nobody, but I'm excited to see their offense. And I'm excited to see how Trevor Lawrence starts this season. I think that will be interesting. I low key think that Giants and Commanders is a good game.
That
I
yeah,
think that I think the Giants have a really good defense. I don't think their offense is gonna like light the world on fire, but I think Russell Wilson is the best thing that they've had in the past, what, since Eli, maybe? I mean, outside of Daniel Jones's one
yeah.
year, I mean, they've been pretty bad. And then Jalen, Jaden Daniels on the Commanders, he's always fun to watch. I'm excited to see. I probably won't watch the game. This will probably just be stat watching, but I'm interested to see how Cam Ward starts the year off against the Broncos. Which, side note, what a terrible first game for a rookie quarterback on a terrible team against the arguably the best defense in football. They'll probably get blown out, but I'm interested to see how he looks against the best.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, Lions Packers, that one's going to be good. That's going to be national TV. I think that's 425. I'm excited to see how CJ Stroud looks against the Rams, mostly because I have him in fantasy. And then Ravens Bills. I mean, come on. No, does that even need an explanation? I mean, that's going to be so fire, dude.
Like I said, Chels, give me one or two games. And you're like, well, here's half the schedule.
Here's seven of them.
Can you tell she's excited, people? She's very
I know. If I had to
excited.
pick three outside of our teams, it'd probably be Lions, Packers, Ravens, Bills, and then honestly, I'm excited to see Panthers, Jaguars because I want to see how Bryce looks.
Mm.
And my husband's a big Panthers fan, and he's a Trevor Lawrence fan. So that game is kind of mandatory in our household on Sunday. So I guess we'll be fighting over Sunday ticket.
So you want to shoot out for Bryce, he wants to shoot out for T. Lawrence. So that's
I
fair.
know my parents decided to spite me last Christmas and buy my husband a Jacksonville Jaguars Trevor Lawrence jersey, which, if you know anything about me, that is highly offensive to me because not only is it a Jacksonville Jaguars jersey, who they always beat us. But I like Trevor Lawrence. But did it have to be the Jags? Could we not have found a Clemson jersey of his? Did it have to be Jacksonville? And then he pulls it out and he wears it, and I just like throw up in my mouth every time. But I like Trevor Lawrence. I just can't stand his team. But I'm excited to see how they start. I think that Bryce is going to have a good season, and I'm excited to see Ted McMillan also. I think he's going to be really good.
One of the games that I feel like you didn't mention that honestly, like I'm kind of a little hyped to see is Buccaneers at Falcons because
That's true. That has the potential to be a shootout for sure.
that's a division matchup, and that's all.
Probably the best two teams in the division on paper, roster wise.
Yeah, and also I'm not gonna say I'm high on Michael Penix, but I saw some spots last year where I'm like, okay, this guy actually looks like he belongs. The Falcons offense moved a lot. Maybe the comparison to the last few weeks with Kirk Cousins when the Falcons offense moved like a turtle with a broken leg.
Or
Um,
Kirk.
but he's still there. But Penix, he moved the offense pretty well last year in his few starts. I'm hopefully optimistic to see how he does. I think the Falcons. I'm not gonna say I don't think they're gonna threaten for the division if he well, barring him having an explosion of a year. I don't think they threaten for the division, but
Me either. I don't think so.
they could be a low key
They could be a feisty team this
a
year. Like
feisty seven
not
seed.
a playoff team, but a team that you see on your schedule that you're like, okay, this is a trap game.
Yeah.
Like you think that they're bad, but they're really low key not that bad. And they finally have competent coaching now, so you don't have to worry about Bijan Robinson somehow not being running back one in that offense and losing carries to Tyler Algier, which to this day I still don't understand how that happens. On the other side with the Bucks, I'm excited to see Egbuka, the old Ohio State receiver who will be wide receiver two for the foreseeable future until Godwin comes back and potentially will stay the two when Godwin comes back, depending on how he plays.
I'll show you here, but there's a motorcycle outside my room.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess he just really wanted to hear our preview of this week's slate.
I bet he's come over here to just yell at me saying Jordan Love is a top five quarterback. I don't know what you're talking about.
The Browns are good.
He's not that
Closes
crazy.
blinds.
Call someone because you're clearly not sober. You can't be on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I like that
It,
game. And I also
yeah.
think, I think you mentioned at the end, I think Texans Rams. Because I think Houston, I want to see how that defense is. And
Will Anderson is a
not just
dog.
honestly, not even the defense. I want to see how the offense does compared to last year. Because last year it was painful to watch.
They
That
had a lot of injuries, though. I mean, they lost Nico
Tank Dell.
Collins. Tank Dell, I don't even think is close to coming back yet. I'm
No.
pretty sure he started the year on the IL. Wouldn't shock me if we didn't see him until week six, week eight, depending. I mean, his leg injury was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, but I still like if someone's going to dethrone the Chiefs, it's going to be one of these teams that can just hold them to minimum points. And I also kind of want to see what's the Rams look like with Stafford? How much is that back is how much of that back is a problem? And can McVay do it again? Can McVay just
And
muster
the
up the magic?
Stetson Bennett ascension begin. No, just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. They're going to trade for Anthony Richardson. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Okay.
Anthony Richardson. If one person needs Anthony, if Anthony Richardson needs one coach, it would be a Sean McVay, honestly. I
Or
think,
an Andy Reid
or
or a Shanahan.
or Bill Walsh at this point. But no, like I'm excited for that game, and honestly, I'm somewhat excited for the Monday night game. I got a schedule right here. That's why I keep looking over to the side.
Yes,
The Monday
yes.
night
JJ
game,
McCarthy's debut.
and Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson's
Adam Thielen is back.
Justin Jefferson. If he is he still dealing with his injury from training camp? The
Oh, I didn't
Vikings.
know he was injured.
He had like I think it was a groin or a hamstring thing. I think it was a groin
Mm.
that it's worrying, but I assume he's playing. I want
I
I really want to see what the heck they do in terms of the offense because Cook was
They
allowed
have
to throw the
Aaron Jones still, right? At
yeah.
running back.
Cook was allowed to throw the ball a little crazy. Darnold surprised everyone last year and he was chucking that puppy like I don't know what. I
Yeah,
want to see how much they trust McCarthy in terms of I doubt he's going to be chucking it down the field. But
probably not.
are they just going to do like quick 4 yard passes? You get the ball out. Like, am I going to see a game that's like 12 for 16 for like 68 yards? Am I
I
seeing
could
something like
see
that?
them letting him do like some intermediate crossing routes, maybe like 25, 20, 25 yards. I would be shocked if they let him unleash it multiple times during the game. He's probably going to be handicapped a bit just because he's coming off an injury. He's basically a rookie still. I mean, he didn't play at all outside of like what, like 5 snaps in preseason.
Yeah,
But no, that'll be good. I will die on the hill that I know I said it last year, but this year I think the Bears are going to be good. Okay, guys? I think the Bears can sneak into the playoffs as a 6 or a 7 seed. I don't think they're going to win the division. I'm not that crazy, but I think Ben Johnson is for real. I do. I think they're going to be good. I think Romo Dunze is for real. I think he's going to break out.
that's not the thing I'm scared of. I'm only scared of one person, and that's the one person everyone thought was a can't miss prospect. What the heck? Can Ben Johnson, can Caleb get the ball out? Is the offensive line going to
Yeah,
protect him? Is he going to hold on to it? It all comes down to Caleb at the end of the day.
it
All this
does.
comes down to because they have the talent, they have the coaching now. It just comes down to the quarterback. And until I see it, I'm not. I hope the unexpected, but I don't expect the unexpected.
Do you have an athletic subscription?
I do not.
So there was an article that came out that was really interesting by Zach Kiefer, who used to be the Colts beat writer for The Athletic. And it was talking about how franchises fail young quarterbacks. Young quarterbacks don't fail franchises.
Hmm.
And they talked to like Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning and Alex Smith and like a lot of big names who aren't playing anymore, but who are like prolific names in the last 25 years. And they were talking about how people really don't realize how much damage it causes to a young quarterback when their play caller and their coordinators flip so much. Because, like, you get to the league, it's infinitely more confusing than college, even if you're in a complicated NFL style system it's still infinitely more complicated. And then they fire their coach like halfway through the season. They get a coordinator, they get another coordinator, they have a defensive coordinator as their coach in Eberflus, who really wasn't a bad defensive coordinator for the Colts for a first couple of years, and then he just turned really bad. He wasn't a good coach. So I feel like the coaching didn't do Caleb any favors at all. He had multiple play callers, he has multiple head coaches, he's had multiple position players rotate in and out. Like his line was terrible. His offense got injured. He got injured to some degree, even though it was mostly minor stuff. So, as much as it is on him for holding on to the ball too long, which is totally his fault, I mean, that's a chronic problem he's had since college. Pretty much every fan that follows him at all knows this. I still think that a lot of it was out of his control. You know what I mean? It's like imagine you got hired to a new job and you had a manager for 4 months who was training you, and then they got fired and they gave you a new manager who was training you, but he was training you completely differently. Like the learning curve has to be difficult. I feel like people underestimate that.
No, that's fair. And honestly, you could say the same thing with Trevor Lawrence. Like you still
Yeah, you
went from
could.
Urban Myers to Doug Pearson to now he has what is it, 3 coaches in 4 or 5 years. Baker
Mm-hmm.
was like that with Cleveland. He went from Hugh Jackson to Freddie Kitchens to Stefanski. Then he got shipped over to
That
Carolina.
happened to Sam Darnold too with the Jets. He had what, three coaches?
Well, anyone that
Two
the
or three
Jets,
coaches?
when anyone the Jets get, I just assume it's just gonna be terrible as soon as
I
they.
mean, that's fair, but it still
Yeah,
didn't do him any favors.
yeah. When Sam Darnold and Geno Smith leave the Jets and have Pro Bowl MVP to caliber seasons, I was like, okay, it's clearly not the fault of the quarterbacks, it's the franchise.
And
It's
it
the,
was really interesting because the person who coined the quote of quarterbacks don't fail franchises, franchises fail quarterbacks, you know who it was? It was Kevin O'Connell, which is fitting because he's the one who revived Sam Darnold.
mm,
Honestly, Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings is probably one of the most prolific offensive minds in the league right now, especially when it comes to development. So I thought that was a very interesting take. Like it was talking about how fans don't have any patience anymore, blah blah blah. Obviously using Anthony Richardson as an example,
yeah.
which they did things backwards. He should have sat his first year. He didn't. He played, he got hurt, pushed his development back, tried to play him again, got hurt, and now they're sitting him when he should be playing. Like you should have sat him 2 years ago.
No,
Like he
that's
shouldn't be sitting now. So it was a really interesting read. If you guys have access to The Athletic, I encourage you to go read it. It's by Zach Kiefer.
yeah.
But all that to say, it'll be interesting to see Caleb Williams and JJ McCarthy. I'm interested to see their career trajectories specifically and how they start out. So
Well, two QBs that don't have any problems is Bo Nix or Sean Payton, and I have and Jared Goff with McVay to now Dan Campbell. I bring them up because those are respected quarterbacks for the Launch Codes Fantasy League. That's right, we had the draft, and
we
one of us,
streamed it as well. It was fun.
and I'm not gonna say my team's better, even though it's kind of factually accurate, but I'm more
Is
confident
it though? Is
it
it
in my head it is. It's good.
right? That's how the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl, right? In your head. Right.
Exactly.
Right, right, right.
But so how about like we just go each other's rosters. Let's go. You pick tell the Launch Codes universe your roster. I'll tell my roster. Uh
Sure. So starters, I have Nix as my starting quarterback. I have Chase Brown and Derrick Henry as my starting running backs. I have Sutton and Garrett Wilson as my starting receivers, which is funny because those are the receivers I have that are starting in my other league. I have Tucker Kraft at tight end. Omari and Hampton as my flex, which I'm intrigued to see.
the rookie.
Ravens defense, and then I doubled down on Ravens. I took Tyler Loop because apparently he's going to be the next Justin Tucker at kicker for the Ravens. And then my bench is kind of a hodgepodge at this point. I mean, waiver wire will pop off eventually. I picked up Ayo Manor. He's a receiver for the Titans. Apparently, he had a really good camp, and they're talking about how he's going to be starting. And it's not like Cam Ward really has many options. So I was like, you know what? I'll take a chance on you. I have Chris Godwin, who's currently hurt on the bench. Theo Johnson, the starting tight end, should be starting for the Giants, who I think has a high ceiling. Cooper Kupp on the bench. He's a wide receiver too now for the Seahawks, but he's been a triple crown threat before, so obviously he can still be talented. Cam Scatabo, I'm very high on him with the Giants, the rookie out of Arizona State.
Yeah, he's gonna get
Geno,
hyped. Big
yeah,
time. Big.
yeah. Geno Smith is my backup quarterback. Tootin, the running back three out of Jacksonville, because Jacksonville is weird and they don't know how to start a running back and just run them into the ground. So I picked him up, and then I have Tajay Spears on the IR.
Like that Jacksonville annoyed me so much. I had Travis Etienne last year, and that was so annoying. But
Oh no, I picked up Tank Bigsby off of waivers last year, and he was dropping like 11 points the last 5 weeks of the season, and I was like, this should not. I'm not even a Jacksonville fan, but this is wrong. Like this should not be what they're doing. How
I'm
do
a
you give up on Travis Etienne, who is the all-time, not last 10 years, not last 20, all-time greatest rusher in ACC history? All time. You know how many good rushers have come out of the ACC? All time. And he's benched for Tank Bigsby? Jacksonville is just stupid, dude.
we love you, Tank. No, for well, no, that's
No
just
disrespect to Tank. I'm just saying. Come on.
I'm just saying you're not the all-time ACC rusher, Tank.
I'm
But I would say no, that's a solid team, solid wild card team. But this is a Super Bowl contender right here. As my QB,
Shots fired, I guess.
I got Jared Goff as my main quarterback. I got my running backs. I went with the NFC South. I got Bucky Irvin and Chuba Hubbard, which I'm really happy about that. My receivers, um I got Amon Ross St. Brown and I got Devonta Smith. So I'm sorry with that. Tight end David Njoku. Someone's gonna have to get scored for the Browns. Someone has to score touchdowns for them. My defense, I got the Houston Texans. The division doesn't really scare me in terms of there's not going to be an offense, no offense, that's going to pop off and drop like a 40 pointer on them. So,
Jacksonville. No, just kidding.
oh man. My kicker, I have to go with the hometown dude. I have to go with Mr. Bosworth. Honestly, our offensive MVP like the past 3 seasons.
Truly.
My receiving core, and this is my bench. My first receiver is Ricky Pearsall. I believe he's the number one receiver at the moment for San Francisco. So, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
Right?
either him or Jawan Jennings.
I got Amari Cooper. He got signed with Las Vegas. He's still a veteran presence. My backup quarterback, Michael Penix. He basically would basically cross my fingers. Hopefully, he has a really big season. Um, I also got Shadur Sanders with my last pick. Just I can't let him go undrafted. You know.
Right.
And then I decided for running backs. On the off chance, knock on wood, we hope CMC stays healthy.
Yeah, I sense a theme here. Uh-huh.
But both I have Brian Robinson Jr. and Isaac Guerrero. Was it
Guriendo.
Guerrero? Basically, I hope CMC stays healthy. I hope he has a great season. But on the off chance he gets injured, I'm ready because Shanahan loves him his running backs, and
You have his handcuffs. That's smart. I
they're
have
gonna
Brian
use
Robinson in my other league.
yeah. So we're gonna put those on social media. We're gonna see, and you can judge who
I've
do.
posted mine already. I'll post Dan's tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta get the early voting.
Yeah. And you have Jonnu Smith as well.
Yes. Oh
Another
yeah. I got yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers
I got another Steelers
local
one.
native.
I gotta go with the Steel City. I gotta go with the
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
I think you have a good team. I think your starters are better than mine. I think my bench is arguably a little bit better. But I think they're pretty comparable, honestly. I
Okay.
trust your wide receivers more than I trust mine. So we'll see how it goes. Apparently, I've just been influenced by New York sports radio because I have two Giants and one Jet on my team. So
But
who would have thought?
it doesn't matter. All we know is when the season's played, that's who we see who the winner is. So
As
Chels,
long as I win, and when Godwin comes back, even if he is demoted to wide receiver three, you know he'll still get
yeah.
700 yards probably and at least five touchdowns. So,
Oh yeah, yes, that's still a Baker Tampa offense.
and Tajay Spears will be nice when he comes back. He gets goal line carries. So even if he cuts into Pollard's workload, it'll only be on the goal line because he's bigger. So,
Chels, the long wait is over.
I
During the
know.
season, send them our handles and let's get out of here because we got football we gotta prepare for.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Tune back in next week where we will recap this past week and any big storylines that occurred and do game picks again. So hit us up on our socials. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord at Launch Codes Football. We're also on Twitter at Launch Codes FB. And we are on, I said Discord, didn't I?
Yeah.
Pretty much every social media. We're on there. So just look us up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week.
I'm Daniel,
And I'm Chelsea.
and boys and girls, football is back.
Let's go.